All right, hey, to Space. Welcome to another YouTube video. Playing some video games today. Today, of course, we're playing some NBA 2K17, playing some MyTeam. Today's video, let's get after it right away. Last week, shared with you added Diamond Tim Hardaway. Finished that set for around 170,000 MT. A lot of you were like, why, dude? That card is garbage. You can run Grant Hill at the point. True, but I picked up the card because I wanted a true Diamond point guard in the squad, a floor general. Could definitely afford the purchase, so pull the trigger on it. Purchase, though. Drop my MT down to under 1.5 million. And I always want to be ready to make that next big play, that next big purchase. So I've been getting after it in the auction house. Oh, by the way, Blacktop finished the board, and yeah, look who I found and added to the squad. Diamond Kevin McHale. We'll take it. Now, these new drop-in 50 packs came out. Everybody's still pretty hype on that Amethyst Vince Carter. Would I like this card? Yeah, absolutely. Love Vince. But my lineup don't really have a need for the card. Got plenty of shooting cards. I'm pretty sure I'd like better than this card currently in my lineup. Cards like Jason Richardson and J.R. Smith. Yeah, this card's selling for still 250 to 300,000 MT in auction. I think it's a smart play to pick up the card if it's going to improve your lineup. What I really like about the card, no, not breaking down any of its attributes or ratings, no, I like that it's not locked into a set. Yeah, so when it's time to upgrade, you can put this card back up in auction. What are you guys thinking about this auction house now that we've got higher value cards? Yeah, cards capped with 100,000 MT buy now prices. But the cards can be bid up, but there's no guarantee what it's going to actually sell for. I like this. Keeps the auction house definitely interesting. Now, speaking of the auction house, let's share with you plays I've been making to get my MT back up. At the moment, got it at 1.9 million. So, going back to the night that the drop-in 50 packs came out, I ended up picking up 10 to 15 Sapphire Terrence Ross cards. Yeah, they were getting thrown away in auction for 1,000 to 2,000 MT. It's a nice card, and I knew that there was no way this card would continue to sell for that cheap, especially after the packs went away. So I stocked up, and then I ended up getting lucky. Yeah, a Terrence Ross challenge announced later in the week. I was able to flip these cards for 8 to 9,000 MT each. Made about 100,000 MT profit after the cards were sold. Yeah, speculating like this can pay off big. Remember being in a party with some friends the night Clay went off for 60. It was halftime, and we were like, you know what? He is definitely getting a Moments card. You think there's going to be a Moments challenge? We checked his price in auction at halftime. Still selling for fair market value. That's around 4,000 MT. By the end of the game, he was selling for 3 times that. Yeah, speculating, you got to look at it this way. It's like buying a lottery ticket. As long as you're not overpaying for that card, you're buying these cards at their current market value or less if you're sniping them. Worst case, if you don't get a Moments challenge, you can sell them back and take a 10% loss. And I'm sure you've thrown away more MT buying packs. So when we're hanging out, playing some 2K, we're also paying attention to the games and the scores that night in the NBA. Yeah, speculating on potential Moments challenges could pay off big. Now, while the T-Ross payoff was nice, it was also really lucky, and that is not how I've made my MT this season. Yeah, I've made my MT making smart plays working the auction house. Yeah, early in the season, made a ton of MT flipping bronze and silver players for current team sets. Yeah, right out of the gate, after early tip-off weekend, these Sapphire reward cards were instant lineup improvements. Now, not so much, but it's still that stepping stone to get to that more desirable historic Diamond reward card. So this method of making MT still works, just not as lucrative as it used to be earlier in the season, but it's still good. Yeah, what you're doing is targeting bronze cards, and you're either setting your buy now really low and buying everything that pops up after the auction house updates, or you're targeting specific higher value teams and raising your buy now. Now I've shifted my focus to sniping historic cards. Yeah, cards needed to finish historic sets and unlock these Diamond reward cards. Now this is not something you just want to jump into after the first refresh and start buying cards. That would be a bad idea. Yeah, take some time and look at the sets. Know which are the current sets with the cards that are available for purchase in packs right now. Right now it's the Knicks and the Thunder. You also want to know which sets are the retired sets and the sets that have yet to be released. Yeah, the retired sets, a ton of potential to make MT flipping these cards. Yeah, these cards can be rare. Also, for the sets that have yet to be released, people anxious to get that card now and willing to pay a little extra. Now, what I did was looked at all the sets, starting with the higher value sets. I looked at the Ruby cards, the Sapphires, Emeralds, and Golds. I looked at what the cheapest buy nows were up for and how many of them were up in auction. I did this for a few days and noticed changes in prices and the volume of cards that were up in auction. Also noticed right away what the rare cards were. Yeah, cards I didn't see posted very often, and when I did, going for big MT. So to get started, yeah, start with those higher value sets. Take the Heat, for example. With the Ruby cards, the Shaq is rare. When it gets put up in auction, it's always with a 100,000 MT starting bid with no buy now. Glenn Rice selling for 70 to 80,000 MT. Hardaway for around 40 to 50. Sapphire Steve Smith has very little value. You can find that for around 6 to 8,000 MT. lucky. The emeralds in the set, pretty much worthless. Yeah, the golds with some value though. Ray Allen having the most. Definitely watch these cards. You find them for cheap, flip them. All depends though on how many are up and what the cheapest buy now is. If you're going to flip gold historics, know how much you got invested in the card and what kind of profit you want to make on the flip. Now do this for all the sets. Get a feel for what the higher value cards are, and then set up a filter to target them after every refresh. Set your color, starting with Ruby. I've been setting my buy now for around 40,000 MT and having some luck finding cards like John Starks, Glenn Rice, and Muggsy Bogues. Again, all I'm doing is setting up that filter and spamming that refresh and looking for that newest batch of updated cards with end auction times of 3 hours and 45 minutes and 4 hours. Now I'm also using this player filter as an indicator of when the auction house is updated. That's when I'm making plays looking up the newest badges, shoes, playbooks, jerseys, coaches, courts, and logos. Like I always said, these items are great. It's all about keeping your auction house full, posting 50 items at all times. If you're smart with your pricing and consistent and always reposting, you're gonna have success. Now again, I don't recommend just jumping into sniping historics without doing the pre-work. Spend a few days looking at these cards in the historic sets. Always take a look at how many are posted and what the cheapest buy nows are up for. Take some notes. Taking this time, you will definitely learn the value and demand of these cards. Yeah, become an auction house expert. That's all we got for you today. Always appreciate likes. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you're checking out future vids. And good luck in the auction house. For Party Pete, this is Space. We're out.